Welcome to A Worthy Conversations podcast. Today I have the opportunity to share an interview that I just recently did with Carlo Marx with you all. It was such a treat getting to chat with him again. He's one of my favorite actors to see on screen, and he's such a lovely, down-to-earth human being. I hope you all enjoy this interview, listening to it as much as I enjoyed hosting it. Without further ado, welcome Carlo, and let's get started. What have been some highlights of 2024 for you?
You mean personally or professionally?
Let's go with both.
Both. I guess 2024. Wow. Personally, I've had some really good trips home to Vancouver Island. I got to go out to my cabin a couple times, and that was really nice. I took a trip to Belize in Central America for a week, and that was really fun. I'd been there before, but not for a long time. And I guess and then professionally, I think I got to do a TV show at the very beginning of 2024. I was a guest star on a lawyer show, and that was fun. I hadn't done that before. And also I got to do a Christmas movie this year, so that was a lot of fun as well. Yeah.
Awesome. And then your Christmas movie just released a few weeks ago, I guess closer to a month. Can you share a little bit about that and any maybe like a favorite story from on set?
Yeah, so is called Scouting for Christmas. I think what made this one really special was just the supporting cast was all very strong. So it felt like a real ensemble. And it felt like some of the supporting cast were taking some big swings, like there was big characters in it. And that made it, fun on set. It was funny. And then Tamara and I could kind of just be the grounding of it, and that could kind of go on around us. I think on set, I don't have any. Let me see if I remember anything. I don't have any particular stories. I think it was just a really fun group of people, and everybody just gelled really well. So it was like fun to come to work every day. Cast and crew. Yeah.
That's great. What is your favorite thing about being an actor?
My favorite thing about being an actor. I think it's my least favorite and my favorite is that it feels so, always feels just beyond your grasp to know what you're doing, and when you do it well, it's so hard to create. So it's like this thing you're constantly chasing, at least for me. And I think if you get cocky about it, then you're not doing it well. So it's like this eternal thing that you're chasing and honing, and that you'll never be that good at, or maybe sometimes you'll be good and you don't know why, and sometimes you'll be bad and you don't know why. So it's like this weird mystery, and it's infuriating and really frustrating, but then it's also kind of delightful and fun to play in that mystery.
Yeah. How long have you been acting? Have you been acting since you were like a little kid, or is it something you got into as you were older?
Well, we've all been acting since we were little kids.
That's true.
Yeah, my parents ran a community theater when I was a kid, and I did. I was in a play when I was a kid in that theater, and then I was in some school plays. So yeah, I've been doing it since I was a kid. Not with any kind of consistency, but I always knew I wanted to do it. I grew up around people that like to tell tall tales and or with flowery language and exaggerate stories. So like, that story was kind of all around me. So I knew I wanted to be a part of that in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you act?
Do I act?
Yeah.
No. I think it would be interesting to get into, but I don't know that I at least currently have the ability to get into a character well enough to not break a character.
Okay. What if it was just a character close to yourself?
If it was someone like me, I could probably do that. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of actors, I mean, I'm not, probably myself included, just you kind of bring characters to yourself too, so you find out how they're like you and how they're not like you.
That's true. Yeah, that's what I was talking with Brittany Bristow a couple months ago, and she said that for her, like how she does it is she like finds the few things that she can connect to herself, and then that's how she becomes the character. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And then you have to find the things that you don't connect to, and that's where research comes in.
Yeah.
Or imagination.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe someday. Do you prefer theater acting over like for television, or what, like where do you feel more at home?
I think it just depends. I think they're similar, but they're also different. Yeah, I think it just depends. In the theater, the actor has a lot more control and power over how a performance goes. In film and TV, it's not really up to you how a performance goes. It's more up to the editor. So that can be frightening. But they pay you more in TV, and that's fun. And I think the experience around both of them are also their own different kind of fun, like being part of that temporary family. So I don't think I have a preference.
Gotcha. If you could create your own movie, what would your dream cast and plotline be?
My dream cast and plotline. There's a book about this guy who used to work for the logging company in the Pacific Northwest, and then he kind of had an environmental awakening. It's called the Golden Spruce, and he was a real character who eventually went missing in a 8-foot kayak on the most dangerous strait of water in the world. But I always thought that I'd love to see that movie on the screen. I'm surprised they haven't made it. Maybe the scope of it's too big. It takes place in North America and China, and I think it goes to Australia too. And who would I cast in it? I mean, I'd like to play the guy. But I don't know. What are you asking? Like, what actors would I like to put around it?
Yes.
I can't remember the other characters in it. But some actors I would like to, dream actors to work with would be like I guess, like Joaquin Phoenix and, people like that who are kind of mysterious. You're not really sure what their process is about. I don't know if it would be that enjoyable on set, though. I guess if you cast people like that, but it would make for an interesting artistic experience. Maybe I'd cast you too.
Yeah, that would be fun. So kind of switching gears a little bit. I know when we've talked previously, you've mentioned that you enjoy hiking and things like that. Is there one specific place that you recommend that everyone should visit in their lifetime?
One specific place. I don't know. I think it's different for everybody. What came to my mind when you said that was the Inca Trail leading up to Machu Picchu. That was kind of a special moment in my life when it's like a 5-day, well, I think you do it longer, but it's a 5-day hike, and it culminates on you entering Machu Picchu from above at sunrise before they open up the gates and the hordes descend. And that was a pretty magical experience for me.
Wow.
What would you recommend?
I have not really traveled like outside of the U.S. Currently, I really want to go to like Yellowstone and Grand Teton and go hiking there. As far as outside of the U.S., I have no idea. I really want to go to like Canada and go on some of the hikes there because from everything I've seen, it's really pretty.
Yeah. And Yellowstone is beautiful too, and the Tetons. I went there 5 years ago or something. Yeah, they're really pretty.
Yeah, my husband went out there before we were married. Him and his family took a trip, and that's like his favorite place that he's ever visited. So,
well, you must go.
Yes. And then since we are almost to the holidays, just a couple Christmas questions. What is your favorite Christmas tradition?
I think I like hunting for the tree when you're actually cutting it down. That's my favorite tradition, to find it like in the forest. I haven't done that for a while, but when I'm not living in a city, yeah, that's my favorite thing to do.
And then, what is your favorite Christmas song?
Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time.
Do you think Christmas music should be listened to before Thanksgiving or held until afterwards?
Oh, afterwards. And yeah. Much. Yeah, definitely afterwards.
I start listening to it. It's a huge cause of debate, like in my family, because most of them are like it has to be after Thanksgiving, and I start playing it like end of October. So, yeah. Yeah. And then, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
It's a Wonderful Life is the one I always go back to. Yeah, I really like that one.
I remember that. We've talked about that, actually, I think.
Yeah. And I also like the Family Man with Nicolas Cage. I watched that one last year for the first time in a while. And that held up.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to check it out.
It's good. I mean, it's kind of just like a Christmas Carol take on that. Yeah.
Nice. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today and share a little bit about your life and acting career.
Absolutely. You're totally welcome.
Carlo, thank you so much again for taking the time to chat with me. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this interview and learning a little bit more about acting, Carlo's Hallmark movies, and things like that. If you'd like to keep up with him on social media, you can follow him on Instagram at Carlo H. Marks, and then on Twitter at Carlo_Marks. If you'd like to keep up with the podcast, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Mercy Sugar. And then I'm on Facebook at A Worthy Conversation hosted by Mercy Sugar. And then on YouTube, you can just find me at Mercy Sugar. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation. Make sure to keep an eye out. We have several exciting interviews coming next month, and I'm super excited to share them all with you soon. Thanks for stopping by to enjoy a chat on A Worthy Conversations podcast.